I want to welcome everybody to our free webinar today, which is Yoga Beyond Asanas. And it's the fundamentals of a lifelong practice. Thank you so much for being here. I want to start by saying that you are welcome exactly as you are today. You have that opportunity. You can keep your cameras on, it's totally optional or off even when it comes to our physical practice, because we will be doing a smaller practice today. Know that always resting is encouraged and always listen to your bodies. I want to take a moment just to introduce some of the team of Rise Yoga that's here today. And the first one is going to be Tom. He is well, I'll let him introduce himself and tell you who he is and what he brings here for us.
Hey friends, I'm Tom Samota. I live in Bentonville, Arkansas, and really happy to be with you tonight. I'm a trainer and program manager for Rise Yoga School. So I'm the energy guy. I love the asanas, but of course, the pranayama, the meditation, that's like my sweet spot for things. So, of course, the title for this webinar is exciting. And I do have some upcoming trainings. The next two are in April. April 11th and 12th is indeed pranayam, and April 25th is detox and renew. So would love to see you in those trainings if your schedule allows. If I can ever support you, answer any questions or be of any help about Rise Yoga School, I am here for you. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Tom. And we also have Bernie. I know she's in her car. I'm not sure if she's driving or not. So we have Bernadette Ficus, and she is also a trainer with us if she wants to jump on for a few words.
Hey everyone, Bernie here, chiming in from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And I am a trainer for Rise Yoga School. I will be teaching yoga for empowerment and every body. Um, Upcoming training is March 14th, 15th weekend. And so like Tom said, he's got his own jam. I got my own jam too. So having that body positive, that empowering class has always been my thing for many, many years. And I'm super excited to bring this training to whoever's interested. So that is my short speech for today. Thank you. And it's nice meeting all of you.
Awesome. Thanks, Bernie. I just want to let everyone know we will be muting everybody. Tom is going to be monitoring our chat box, so feel free to type in any questions you have there or write them down on a piece of paper as we will be doing a Q&A at the end of this training, just so that you don't forget any of the questions that you might have. So I'm just going to take this moment to mute everyone. Um, Perfect. So why did I do this training? This time that we're going to be spending together this evening isn't about perfect poses or pushing our body. It's about reconnecting to why we practice yoga in the first place. A lot of times we come into a scenario or a practice and we just don't know where, or we feel stuck in our practice. And that's what this is because a lot of times we only see our yoga practice as the asanas, as the poses, and there's so much more to what yoga truly is. You're not here by accident, right? Most people don't just wake up one day and randomly sign up for something like this. There's usually a nudge or something inside of them that's saying that there's something more to their practice that they aren't currently getting or they're not experiencing and they want something more. So I'm going to do a little poll and you can just answer the poll and it's going to come up on our screen. And it's just about what inspired you to join tonight. Is it that you were feeling stuck or disconnected in your current program? You want to go deeper into your practice. You're seeking clarity or direction. Maybe you're curious about yoga teacher training. Maybe you simply felt called to be here this evening, or maybe there was another reason. There's no right and there is no wrong. These are purely anonymous. And we're getting quite a few different reasons why, which is awesome. So let's just give this a few more minutes and then we'll carry on. It's pretty much right across the board. Most people might be feeling stuck or they're wanting to go deeper. There's some that are seeking clarity, some that are curious about teacher training, and some even felt just called to be here this evening. So that's awesome. And these are all excellent reasons to be here, right? Especially when it's something that's free. Why not, right? So, we know that yoga is about asanas. It is about the poses, but there are so many other benefits to our yoga practice. We have our benefits that improves our strength, our flexibility, our mobility, our balance, the enhances of posture and our functional movement of our daily lives. It supports our joint health and spinal integrity. It increases our body's awareness and injury prevention while improving circulation and respiratory efficiency. So these are just the physical benefits of our practice. Then we also have our mental and emotional benefits. It helps to reduce stress, anxiety, overwhelm. It improves our focus, our concentration, our mental clarity. It also helps to support emotional regulation and resilience. It helps to build self-awareness and mindfulness, but it also encourages self-compassion and self-trust. We always find the way to trust ourselves, which allows us to trust the others, allows us to go deeper into our practices. It's also beneficial for our nervous system and physiological benefits. It regulates our autonomic nervous system, supporting the parasympathetic nervous system of rest and digest. It also improves our breath efficiency and our lung capacity. It supports sleep quality and recovery while enhancing our vagal tone and stress response. If we think of a time when we've done yoga before going to sleep, as long as it was more of a restorative practice, a gentler practice, maybe just mindfulness, we end up sleeping so much better. We feel so much better. So sometimes it's mixing up the style of routine, the style of class that we take, from just being a vinyasa flow, a power class, to a yin or a restorative class. Maybe all we do is yin and restorative, maybe incorporating one strength style class. There's so many benefits that we're going to be able to tap into the nervous system, tap into the physical body, the mental body, right? As well as our lifestyle and long-term well-being. It encourages healthy habits and self-care routines. It supports healing, recovery, trauma, injury, burnout. It builds a sustainable, lifelong movement practice as it fosters connection, community, and purpose. So many times we start working out. I started off personal training, boot camp, all those high impact things, which is what I really enjoy. As I moved forward and got older in my life, those are still part of my practice. However, yoga really has taken on so much more. And for the simple fact that it's something that we're able to do throughout our lives. Yoga is something that is very easy to make more adaptable for our body. So, what is yoga? What is it truly? So many people think that yoga is about touching their toes, but in reality, it's what we notice on the way down to touch our toes and what we carry with us when we leave our mats. It's often presented today. It looks like exercise. Basically, every time you step onto your mat, whether it's in a gym or a yoga studio, it's showing as exercise. And movement is powerful, but yoga itself is not a workout. Yoga is a system of awareness. Okay. Was never designed to be something we do for an hour and forget. It was designed to support how we live, respond, and relate to ourselves and to others. It was all about living on the mat as well as we take these tools off of our mat as we continue to move forward. In our practice, we typically focus on one limb of yoga, and there's 8 limbs. There's our yamas and our niyamas, which is our restraints and our observances. The asanas, which is the part that we typically always do in our practice. Our pranayama, which is our breath. Our pratyahara, which is our withdrawal of senses. Our dharana, which is our intense focus. Our dhyana, which is a state of meditation, and our samadhi, which is a state of oneness. So, what I want you to do is think of these limbs as not as something we climb. Instead, they're aspects of an entire system. Okay. So, our yamas is how we relate to the world. Our niyamas is how we relate to ourselves. Our asanas or our poses, how do we move? Pranayama, how do we breathe? Pratyahara, how do we turn inwards? Our dharana, how do we focus? Dhyana, how do we meditate? And samadhi, how we integrate. These are all the things we ask ourselves on our mat when we're in our practice. We start to notice our breath. We start to notice the sensations and the feelings inwards. We start to bring focus into our body, into our breath, into our mind, right? Which then allows us to meditate, and then we are able to integrate. When we only practice one limb, it often explains why we feel stuck, overwhelmed, or disconnected in our practice. This is when we only practice our asanas. When we go to a yoga class, we might not come out of our class feeling relaxed, feeling calm, feeling anything at all other than, I feel really loose today. Oh, that was a good class. I can really feel my muscles stretched. What we're looking and aiming to do and achieve is the feeling, those other sensations during the practice, because we focus so much on our practice that we forget about everything else. So many people come to yoga looking for physical benefits of yoga, which are asanas. And that is an excellent place to start. But they end up feeling stuck. And the asanas, as I mentioned, are only one part. They might be stuck because they're overdoing and underfeeling. Maybe there's no framework within their practice that they're currently taking for growth. Or maybe there's no guidance in the class or beyond the class. There's no lesson being learned in the class. Maybe it's the teacher that there's just not a good connection with, or they've only taken one small portion of a training and they only learned the asanas. They didn't learn the full aspect. Feeling stuck doesn't mean that you're bad at yoga. It means that you're ready for the next layers. Okay? It means we're ready for the next layers, which is kind of where we are right now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come to our mats. We're going to be doing a gentle practice today, some little bit of movement. We're going to be bringing and incorporating some different breathing techniques. Some of them you may already do in class, some you may not. And we're just going to feel. We're going to allow our senses to come inwards here. Okay. When we come to our mats, feel free to use all the blocks you want. They're not crutches, props, or enhancers. So we look at them as ways enhancing our poses today. Feel free to use bolsters. For our final relaxation, I will tell you we will be sitting in our final relaxation today. So maybe you want to get some blocks, some pillows, some bolsters to put underneath the legs. Maybe you want to get a blanket to wrap around yourself. Do what feels right for you today. Okay. As I mentioned, you're free to keep your camera off. It's more of a gentle practice, but listen to your body. Do what feels right for you. Okay. So I'll meet you on the mat. It's not about having perfect poses. It's about feeling. It's about becoming present with ourselves and about moving. So we're actually going to be starting supine. So you can lie flat down on your backs. And just taking a deep breath in. Exhale. And inhale. Just continue to focus on our breath. Not changing anything. We're just noticing. Allowing our bodies to arrive before our mind tries to do anything. Before our mind tries to take over and get us to shift. Feeling where we're supported and where we might need a little extra support. Noticing our body. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's yoga practice. My name is Paul and I'll be guiding us through our practice today. As we're lying flat down on our backs, let's just place one hand on our belly and another hand on our chest. And coming in to our diaphragmatic breath, Dipka Pranayama. As we inhale, we can feel our belly expanding and rising, our rib cage opening and our chest expanding. And as we exhale, completely soften and let the breath go. Once again, inhaling into our belly, into our ribs, and into our chest. And exhaling, letting go. And just continuing to breathe in our full diaphragmatic breath. As we continue to focus on our breath, bringing our awareness to our body, noticing our jaw, noticing our tongue, our shoulders, noticing our arms, our back, our hips, and our legs. Noticing our entire body supported by the floor. This is yoga. Awareness is yoga. As long as we're breathing, we're doing yoga. Let's begin to awaken our body by wiggling our fingers and toes, allowing more energy in by rolling our hands and feet. We can softly rock our heads from side to side. Taking a deep breath in. And on our next exhalation, just drawing both knees in towards our chest, placing our hands behind our thighs, giving ourselves a great big hug. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. Still using our full diaphragmatic breath here. As we inhale, let's allow our right leg to extend long, or maybe we just tap the toes to the mat. And then exhale, drawing our right knee back in. As we inhale, we can extend our left leg and either tap the toes or the heel, and exhaling back in. Inhale, right leg extends. Exhaling in. Once again, inhale, left leg. Exhaling in. One breath, one movement. Just flowing through. One more time on each side, ending with the opposite side in which we had started. Let's allow our feet to fall flat down to the mat. Arms come down by our sides. As we flow through our bridge, we're going to press through the feet. Inhale, lifting hips to sky. And as we exhale and lower the hips, we can elevate our arms up over our head. Inhaling our hips to sky, arms lower back down by our sides. Once again, lowering the hips, elevating the arms. One breath, one movement. Connecting our breath with movement. Last one. As we exhale down, let's lower and extend through the legs all the way down. Reaching fingertips up over the head, pointing our toes. A nice full body stretch here. Just breathing and feeling. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. We may feel the belly start to lift towards the earth as the small of the back peels away from the earth. Deep breath in. Let's exhale. Bring arms down by our sides. Feet come flat to the mat once again. And just windshield washer knees side to side. We can exhale, allow them to fall to the right. Inhale to center. Exhaling to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale. and exhale. One breath, one movement. Last one. We'll just meet back into center. Reaching right arm up over our head. We're going to press through the soles of the feet. Squeeze, hip our glutes to the left side. Roll to the right. Pause for a breath. And when we're ready, press firmly through our top left hand, sweeping our knees around, coming into our tabletop. Stacking our shoulders over our wrists, hips over our knees, our spine is long. We're going to flow through cat and cow using our breath as we exhale into cat, tucking our tailbone, rounding the spine, gazing towards the earth. Inhaling into cow, pressing out our tailbone, allowing our belly to sink and our gaze comes forward. Once again, exhaling into cat and inhaling into cow. And just continuing to flow through. Our breath gives rhythm to movement, while rhythm gives our mind something to follow as we breathe and move. Last one. Meeting back into our tabletop, lengthen through the spine, creating some core stability here in our spinal balance, still using our full diaphragmatic Ditka Pranayama breath. Inhale, right arm, left leg out. Exhale to lower. Inhaling, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. One breath, one movement, just flowing through. One more time on each side, ending with the opposite side in which we had started. And then pause for a moment and a breath. Let's take our right foot. We're going to step it forward beside the inside of the right hand. Maybe we lift up, maybe we help that foot come forward. Coming into our lunge, pause for a breath. Taking a deep breath in on our next inhalation, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to come into our half splits. We hinge through the hips, lengthen through the front right leg, and bring glutes back towards the left knee. Inhale, rise up into our kneeling lunge. Exhale, coming back and lengthen. Inhale to rise. Exhale, surrender and sink. Last one. Beautiful. Let's step our right foot back and switch to the left side. So inhale, left heel to sky. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Once again, we inhale to rise. Exhale, hinge through the hips, lengthen through the legs, half splits. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Always remember we can use our blocks for support. Last one. And we're going to step our left leg back. Let's meet into child's pose. Tips of the toes touch, tailbone comes back towards our heels. We can extend arms out, or we can use our hands to support our head. Pause and breathe. Always know that we have permission to come back to child's pose at any time throughout our practice to recenter our bodies, our mind, our breath. Be mindful of our body, what our body's asking of us. Stop, take sips of water as needed throughout our practice. From child pose, let's inhale, shoulders over wrist. Tucking our toes under, we're going to lift our hips to sky, downward facing dog, pedaling out through our heels, stretching through our calves. Crown of the skull reaches towards the fingertips as our belly comes towards our thighs. As we exhale, let's walk our feet forward towards our hands. Softening our knees. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Palms come together and then exhaling, hands to heart center. Joining and meeting into our mountain. Allowing our hands to come down by our sides as we come into our peak portion of our practice. We're going to use a new breath technique here, Ujjayi breath, also known as victorious breath, ocean's breath, Darth Vader breath. So what we do is we slight constriction of the back of our throat, and we exhale through the nose and inhale through the nose. But we're exhaling as if we're fogging up a mirror. So it's the slight sound of the gentle ocean. And we use our smooth, steady breath. Ujjayi breath helps calm our nervous system. It enhances focus and mindfulness. Continuing on with our Ujjayi breath and adding in some movement and mindfulness. We inhale the arms up. Let's exhale, sit back into our chair, bending through the knees, lower hips, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hinging through our hips into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through our spine, crown of the skull reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sit back into our chair. Inhale. Exhale, hinge through our hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, sit back into our chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. And just continuing to flow through chair and forward fold, using our Ujjayi breath. Last one. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right foot remains forward. Let's step our left foot back, coming into our warrior one. Our left foot heel lines up with the left hip. Right knee stacks over right ankle. We can choose hands to heart, goalpost arm, or we can extend the arms up towards the sky. Pausing here in our pose while still focusing on our Ujjayi breath. Not forcing our breath. Our breath leads our movement. And allow yourself to flow through the poses using your breath. As a teacher, I'm only here to guide you. You listen to your body. From warrior one, on our next inhalation, let's come into warrior two as we open up the hips along the long edge of the mat, opening up our left foot to a 90-degree angle, bringing both arms up, shoulder level. Turn to gaze over right fingertips. Continue to focus on the Ujjayi breath. Connect mindfulness. Connect and calm the nervous system, enhancing our focus. Inhale, we're going to lengthen through the front right leg. Turn toes forward, place hands on hips. And as we exhale, hinge forward through our hips into our standing straddle splits. Wide-legged forward fold. This is where yoga stops being exercise and it becomes meditation in motion. When we allow our mind to be present in our body, we don't focus on the pose, we focus on our body, we focus on our breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine, crown of the skull pulls forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise. We can walk hands back up to the thighs. We can also turn to the front short edge of our mat. Hinging forward through the hips, stepping our right foot all the way back, coming into our downward facing dog. Same sequence, opposite side. Inhale, left foot to sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Twisting out our right foot to a 45-degree angle. We inhale, rise up, warrior one. Bringing the attention to the breath. Ujjayi breath. Darth Vader breath. Victorious breath. Ocean's breath. Breath in motion. Breath with mindfulness. On our next inhalation, coming into our warrior two, where we open up our hips along the long edge of the mat, opening up our right foot to a 90-degree angle, bring both arms up shoulder level, gazing over left fingertips. Maybe we're taking care of shoulders, we can keep our hands on our hips or hands to heart center. What feels right for us? Inhale, lengthen through the front left leg. Turn the left toes forward. Exhale, hinge your hips, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, rising back up, nice and slow. Let's just heel toe our feet together. Meeting back into mountain. Just pause for a breath. Beautiful. Let's allow to equalize our blood pressure, slow down our heart rate. Even though we've just been moving gently and mindfully, the heart rate may start to elevate. We may held our breath a few times. So just pausing before we come into our seated postures. Together we'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinging through our hips, forward fold. We're going to come down to our knees. We're going to be using our bolster, our pillow, our blanket here as we come into a seated position, sitting up nice and tall. Always remember, maybe we use our blocks to place them underneath our legs here, just for some added support. What feels right for us? And as we come here and sit, we're going to start to slow down and turn inwards. We're going to come into our cool down using our equal ratio breath. So as we come into our equal ratio breath, we're going to inhale for a 4 count and then exhale for a 4 count. Inhale for a 4 count, exhale for a 4 count. Always know 4 is just a number. Maybe today your number is 3, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 6. But whatever the inhale is, we match it with our exhale. So let's try together. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you want to continue on with this 4 count, or maybe you want to increase it or decrease it. What feels right for us? Equal ratio breathing will always help us to cool down our body as well as heat it up. It helps to regulate our emotions while promoting inner peace, balancing the oxygen and carbon dioxide levels within our body. Let's begin to add in our dharna, and let's focus on the sound of your breath with each inhalation and exhalation. Maybe now let's focus on the sensations at our nostrils. Maybe now we start to focus on the rise and fall of the chest. When our attention can rest in one place, softly and without effort, that's the beginning of meditation, a small glimpse into dhyana. Yoga isn't something we perform, it's something we experience. The poses are only the gateway into what yoga truly is. Let's pause here and notice our sensations, our mind, and our breath. Let's begin to awaken our minds by deepening our breath here. Let's begin to awaken our bodies by wiggling our fingers and toes. Let's allow more energy in by rocking our head from side to side. And then together, let's inhale our arms up overhead, bringing our palms together, and then very slowly exhaling hands down in front of our hearts with mind, body, and breath. Once again, I'd like to thank you for practicing awareness with me this evening. Noticing our body, noticing our mind, noticing our breath. And know that we have the ability to come back to this moment at any time through our week by just closing our eyes and bring us back to where we are at this moment. The love and light in me honors and acknowledges the love and light of each one of you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just take a moment, come on back to our cameras and our screens. So that is a gentler practice where we incorporated all of the different aspects of yoga into one class. And it wasn't overly crazy. It was gentle, and we slowly start to weave the new sensations, the new extras of our practice in. So we're going to take another poll here before continuing on with our workshop, our webinar. So our second poll is going to be launched right now. And it's, what did you notice most during the class today in the practice? Was it your breath? Was it physical sensations coming within your body? Your thoughts, your emotions, your sense of calm and presence? Awesome. So again, majority is a sense of calm and presence. Some it was emotions, some it was thoughts and or mind activity. So it's always great to notice what is happening within our practice. Where do we feel our practice most? And a lot of times it will always help us to flow through and to sense what is happening. So, what does deepening really mean? Deepening your deepening your practice, sorry, isn't about doing more extravagant, challenging poses. It's not about doing those arm balances, those inversions, anything like that. It's about understanding more. It's understanding the why we do the poses, why we do these breathing techniques, why we are here today in the practice on our mats. But it's also how do we practice safely on our mat and how to integrate yoga into your daily life. Yoga is about living on and off of the mat. It's taking those tools with us, those breathing techniques with us, times that we're feeling stress, anxious, anything like that, and allowing us to take it outside into the real world, into our daily work. Maybe we have a high stress job. These breathing techniques allow us to calm our nervous system. It allows us, maybe we're a student in school. Well, these breathing techniques allow us to maybe calm our mind before going into an exam, before taking a test. This is what changes everything. This is where yoga becomes personal and transformative, right? It's not about just being able to bend over and touch our toes. It's not about being able to do those, what I call Instagram poses, headstand, arm balances. Yes, there's benefits to them. Yes, there's beautiful poses in them. However, it's about deepening our actual practice. A lot of times I get asked, why did I start Rise Yoga School? What makes us different? Um, Rise Yoga School isn't just a teacher training program. It's a transformational experience designed to develop confidence, capable, heart-centered teachers and individuals. Students don't simply learn yoga, they become yoga. Our trainings are truly trauma-informed trainings, which are all inclusive. Trainings that build real-world teaching confidence for both on and off of the mat. It's a supportive, non-competitive community. Its curriculum is rooted both in traditional as well as a modern understanding. We are teachers who actually care, and we stay connected even after you graduate our course, you graduate and complete a training with us. You are part of a community, part of a family. You can always come back to us for support and help, even if it was just designing a class or putting what you learned in the training into your own style of class. It's a training that is transformational, not just informational. And we also offer modular as well as choice-based training. So it follows what you like. I started Rise Yoga School because I knew yoga could be so much more than many people were experiencing from other yoga schools and classes. For years, I watched students come to yoga looking for healing, connection, clarity, but often left feeling more confused, intimidated, or like they weren't doing it right. I also saw how many teacher trainings focus heavily on memorization, choreography, or a rigid system without truly teaching the people how the body works, how to properly cue in class, and about nervous system response and how to hold space for real human experiences. It was so much more about just doing a pose and doing this sequence rather than we are here to help people. That's why we do what we do. So it's how to deal with it. Rise Yoga School was created as a place where modern science meets ancient yogic wisdom, where anatomy, awareness, and compassion are just as important as flexibility and strength. A place where students feel supported, not pressured. educated, not overwhelmed, and empowered and not boxed in. You're not a cookie cutter. It's not a cookie cutter training school. It is a real school teaching you how to help people. I wanted to create trainings that honor choice, accessibility, and self-inquiry. Whether someone wants to deepen their own personal practice or step into teaching. Not everyone who studies yoga wants to become a teacher, and that's okay. This is more about yoga for understanding yourself, um, not fitting a specific role. We are rooted in trauma-informed teaching, the nervous system awareness, as well as real life application. We don't teach people how to copy someone else's class. We teach them how to understand the why behind the practice so that they can move, breathe, and live with more intention and confidence. A lot of times when people go to trauma-informed classes, it's more so about this is how you do it, but it's more of a cookie cutter style rather than actually scientifically based, how to actually help. Every single person's emotions, everybody's trauma, everyone's class is going to be different. Everyone's study will be different. Um, at its heart, Rise Yoga School exists to help people reconnect with their bodies, reconnect with their breath, and most importantly, reconnect with themselves. Yoga isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who we are. That's why Rise Yoga School exists, and that's why we all rise together. I come from a background of living this on the mat and off of the mat. I was in relationship, which wasn't the best relationship, and this helped me grow. Yoga is what helped me grow. And the tools that I used and learned is what I bring into the teachings. These teachers that I bring in are so powerful and knowledgeable on what they know. That's why they're part of Rise is because we are strong based and it's not, as I always like to say, the Paul show as we're a team. This is a family effort. And students are what's most important. One of the biggest things our students always get asked is, what trainings do you want? What are you interested in? Because that's where we grow and that's where we go to, is what entices you, what interests you. Um, so where do we begin? The best place to start is the fundamentals of yoga teacher training. This training is not about becoming a teacher unless you want it to be. It's about understanding yoga fully. It teaches you fully what the yoga truly is beyond the physical poses while exploring its roots and purpose. It's the lineage of yoga, understanding the tradition and its evaluation. The eight limbs of yoga, which is a holistic framework for living and teaching. What makes a yoga teacher? The qualities, presence, awareness to go beyond the asanas. In our Rise teaching premise, it's our unique approach to safe, trauma-informed, embodied teaching, as well as how to design our yoga class from sequencing to energetics to intention. The yamas and the niyamas, which is our yogic ethics as a guide for personal growth and professional integrity. Basic anatomy of yoga, which is essential for foundations for safe and effective teaching. We also include the business of yoga, how to share your gifts, sustainability, and professionally, how to advertise yourself, how to build your own brand. This isn't about keeping you inside of a little box. It's about teaching you how to grow and make this into a full career if that's what you want to do, as well as our professional development, cultivating your voice, confidence, and presence as a teacher. I'm not going to lie. There is a special gift for everyone as a thank you for joining this evening. We want to give you a discount code to register for any of our upcoming fundamentals of yoga, which is going to give you $50 off. That brings the price down to only 149 Canadian for our 2-day fundamentals of yoga teacher training. It's on sale for 199, but you can get that $50 on top. Whether you join now or later, I want you to feel empowered, not pressured. So this offer is going to be valid until the end of the month. So you have until basically February 28th, March 1st to register for the fundamentals of yoga at $50 off by using the code webinar. So that's WEBINAR. So yes, it's approximately $110 US, because it's not that you have to pay the dollars, you pay your own fees. Um, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing one final poll, and then we'll open up I'll unmute everybody and answer any questions that people might have before we sign off. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, open up our final poll, which didn't want to close. I want to go back. And our final poll. So after this experience, what feels most aligned for you right now? Deepening your own personal practice, learning more about yoga beyond the asanas. Maybe you're curious about teacher trainings, and maybe now, maybe later, maybe never. And that's okay. And maybe it's continuing to reflect on what the experience is. There's no right and there is no wrong. And thank you so much for sharing this. I'm seeing a beautiful range of responses, which tells me each of you arrived here exactly where you needed to be. Some are looking for deeper personal practice. Some are wanting to learn more about yoga beyond the asanas. There's people interested in teacher trainings, maybe now, maybe in the future, and some continue to reflect on what they experienced. And all of these are valid. Um, and they're all excellent things. So it is excellent. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to unmute, and if anyone has questions, feel free to ask physically, or you can feel free to type them in the chat. And we won't say your name, we'll just read them off. Wow, participants. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourselves now if you have questions. Yes, Lisa.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Tom. It's nice to see you both. So, I've been teaching for a long time,
Mhm.
probably about 20 years total. And I'm very disconnected right now. I'm like lost sheep. And I'm just kind of wondering if your fundamentals practice would be good to bring me in, like to reconnect that purpose that I have. Because I love tonight was great. Like I feel loved here. Like I feel I'm with my people. I don't have my people now. So I think that's where I've lost my path.
Mhm.
But I'm just curious. Like I have my 500 hours. So like would I benefit? I really like when you said you were talking about the business side of yoga because I'm really not businessy at all. So
Yeah,
I'm curious what
that's
that would
a
look like.
great question, Lisa. And yes, I believe that the fundamentals will be a great place to start. And the reason why is a lot of schools do not teach the business. They include a tiny little tidbit of business, but they don't include true business on how to apply yourselves. What I teach people to do is I teach you how to go and set up your own yoga retreats. I teach you fully 100%. Am I crazy for doing this? Yes. Why am I crazy? Because you're going to be stealing my people. Like there's another competition now out there. But that's okay. That is okay. And the reason why it's okay is because it's not that you're stealing people, you're helping people. So I am totally fine with it. The business aspect of yoga is so huge, and so many people eliminate it. Another big thing that's really good is our anatomy in Asana is a 4-day training. So as you go through our trainings, now I wouldn't recommend, oh, take our 200, take our 500. I would say yes, start with the fundamentals. And the reason for that is, as you know, as we start teaching, we always go and start to pick up bad habits along the way. I've done it. Everyone that has done it. We pick up bad habits. This fundamentals of yoga is going to help us realign and be like, oh, yes, I need to remember the foundations. I need the fundamentals. I need to remember this aspect. But it's also going to be a reminder of the yamas and niyamas. It's also going to be a business aspect, how to advertise yourself, your business, and find your true self and your true passion in yoga. Then I'm not going to say to go and take our full 200, take our 500-hour training, because we are working on our 3, which should hopefully be done by the end of this year, maybe, fingers crossed. Um, that is the plan. But maybe it's like, you know what? I want to deeper my practice. So I'm going to take next the strengthen toned class. So there's an added tool that you can add to your belt. Maybe it's adaptability. We've just about to launch our restorative teacher training, which, not to brag and not to boast, but I guarantee we have the best restorative teacher training. And this is why. Not because I wrote it, but because so many times people confuse restorative and yin. They are polar opposites, but schools and teachers intertwine them. They can't be intertwined. They're very different. So I teach, we have a yin training and we have a restorative training, and we teach what the difference is. The other thing I want you to know is you will never get the same thing from one of our trainings in another training. They're all, nothing is repeat, it's all brand new. Tom has just written a phenomenal training, Detox and Renew, how to deal with the lymphatic system and detoxify the body. Bernadette has just written an amazing training which launches for yoga for empowerment and every body. Let's be honest. Yoga it was developed by men for men. It lost all of that aspect and got converted to women. And it got converted to one size fits all yoga, and one size doesn't fit all in yoga. Yoga for empowerment in every body is how to teach yoga for people in bigger bodies, to teach yoga to every single person out there that needs assistance and help. That's what it's here for, and that's why we're here. So yes, Lisa, I would recommend taking the fundamentals. And I will say this, if you take it and you said, I really didn't learn anything from this, anything new, it didn't help out, I will give you a credit for another training for what you paid. But I know you will gain something.
I'm sure I'll learn something. When do we have dates for that?
Yep, there's March 14th and 15th is the next one. So what I like to do is, I will be honest with you, I do have my entire year planned out, but on the website I only usually have 2 dates for each training. So March 14th and 15th is the next one. And then the one after that is would be in May. And I'm not 100% sure on the dates for that.
I'm trying to look it up. Fundamentals. Here we go. Come on, open up. I'll share the link for all the trainings. It is, oh my goodness sakes.
Do I have it on there or not?
No, I thought it was going to pop back right up. It's coming. Okay. Um, February 21st, March 14th, May 16th.
May 16th. So May 16th and 17th. It's a 2 day. What we also do is in our trainings, so fundamentals of yoga is a training where you'll learn about 35 to 40 poses and master them. Then it's not that you've got to go to another training to learn the rest. You then take Asanas, cueing, and anatomy, which is a 4 day training, and you learn all the asanas for the next all of them. Then the only ones you don't learn are the inversions and arm balances. Those you learn in the culmination of the path. So the way that our training, our 200-hour works, is there's 5 mandatory trainings, which is the fundamentals of yoga, the asana, cueing, and anatomy, the meditation, pranayama, and the culmination of the path. Then there's 4 days of electives that can be taken either 2 2 days, 4 1 days, 2 2 days, and a 1 day, which would be we have yin yoga, we have detox and renew, we have yoga for empowerment in every body, we have strength and tone, as well as we have our adaptability, which is how to adapt yoga for people in wheelchairs, using a chair, using props. And it's a full day of that. And it's all in Canadian dollars. So for my American friends, you pay 30% less. And when we have sales, it's still 30% less. Yes, and almost restorative. And we will shortly be having an advanced pranayama, an advanced meditation, and yoga nidra. And these are done by my woo-woo sidekick, Tom. Thank you so much, Lisa.
I'm excited for what I'm going to write.
So am I.
I just need to get, I need March to get here so I can have finished what I'm doing in February and then get started in March.
Exactly. So I'm just going to sign off on the recording, but we're free to stick around if people have questions. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And always remember, yoga isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who we already are. So thank you so much. If you have any other questions, comments, please feel free to email me directly with these. Thank you so much.